What's up, guys? It's Diana here, and wanted to do a quick vlog. And finally out of the office. It's a 90-degree day, so I'm not out and about necessarily. I'm early for a meeting, so I'm sitting out in the parking lot, and I will probably leave and get something to eat, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to answer a question for one that I got on the video that I did, asking what content do you guys want more of, and I got the content from Alex Miner, so go check out his channel, link down below. It said, I'd like to see more content about your business, how you started, your successes and struggles, milestones you've reached in building your brand, etc. And he also stated that what initially made me watch your channel was you. It's rare to see a young black woman on YouTube who's really focused on business, tech, and serious topics. So thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate the kind words and everything like that. I'll probably break this down, this question down over a couple videos just to keep these a little short. So I'll touch on in this vlog how I got started and some successes and some struggles. And if you hear some noise, it's the car running, air conditioner on and stuff like that, but hopefully it's fairly clean audio in the video. So how I got started, honestly, how I got started in business was more or less when I was around 22-ish, but even before then, middle of recession, working 2 jobs, not even getting enough hours between the 2 jobs to equate to one full check from either of them. And it was just tough. Wind up dropping out of college at the time, just trying to adult successfully and failing miserably. But it was nobody's fault. It's the recession. What can you do? So with that being said, just started to, actually was watching, as weird as it sounds, I'll get to it, but I was actually watching, what was it, Chris Angel Mind Freak, and it just made me think, like, the best humans on earth, the best that we've gotten to is only using 10% of our brain. And even if I could just achieve a little bit more, I know I could propel myself a lot in life. And so I wanted to figure out how the mind works and just start diving. I didn't really know where to go, but I started thinking about psychology and how the mind works and stuff like that, and trying to figure out more about myself. So I started getting books on psychology. Fast forward 2 years, not even 2 years, well, fast forward 3 years at that point, 22 years old, and moved back home to St. Louis and got introduced to network marketing. Now, people have positive, negative, probably more negative than positive experiences in network marketing. I had a positive experience because it introduced me to business as an adult. My parents were in network marketing growing up. They had made some money. My mom had did really well in business as well. She was an entrepreneur. So already being around entrepreneurship as a kid, we had our own janitorial contracts. I made money, more money than most kids. It's like $50 every 2 weeks or something like that. And so I had already kind of been around business. As an adult, really just got into network marketing, and the biggest thing with network marketing is personal development and how you think, because you have to go from a consumer mindset into a business owner mindset, and there's a huge shift that has to happen in the midst of you wanting money, you wanting now, everything now, you wanting fame right now, just all of that. And so that's how I got started. I was working at a job I absolutely hated. I just could not deal. Like, I was so frustrated. I was stressed even when my alarm would wake up. It's just, all kind of bad stuff. So I was sitting at my desk, and I'm just thinking how we spend time working a job and we want to get to the point to where we make more money. But you have to, how much time do I have? How much longer can I go working like this and trying to get a certain dollar amount? And I think at the time I was getting like $8.50, $9, so it wasn't that much money at all. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't keep working these many hours trying to equate it to a certain dollar amount. I have to think differently. And what I learned was a lot of personal development. I was just sharing with somebody earlier, and we're discussing, just how to find, or really not find, but more or less uncover your purpose in life. And it just made me think back to those days. And the difference being that when somebody is turning over money, they're exchanging money for value. And so you're paid in accordance to the value. And you have to think that what you make on your job is about, a small percentile comparative to what they make from the work that you do, retaining a client, even if you're in customer service, helping to, just further engage that client in a positive way, and to just really build and develop something, whether that is the customer experience, whether that is being able to problem solve for them and retain them as a customer. And over a 10-year period of time, how much money have you made them? Even working in the financial services industry like I have for many years now, you have to think how much money you're equating, the value for the money, not the time for the money. So that's how I got started, was in network marketing. And it really just, my first mentor is what he told me, and I shared this with my friend earlier today, is that he told me, and I'm sitting down, stuffing my face, and I'm eating, and he told me that, and somehow he just, at the time he wasn't my mentor, and after this conversation he became my mentor. And he, how somebody would say they saw something in you, and that's kind of what it was. He just saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself at the time. And he was like, you're going to have to break into your own consciousness. You're going to have to break into your mind and really, really figure out who you are. But to do that, you have to take away those distractions. And all distractions are equal. So you need to go on a 30-day mental fast. No TV. No, I had just bought myself an Xbox 360. No Xbox. I had just had some games. I think Black Ops had just came out. Call of Duty Black Ops had just came out at the time. I had just finished, I think, the story mode. So, just living life like anybody else. He's like, you need to cut out stuff. No public radio. No TV. No, none of that stuff. 30 days. And you just need to listen to personal development. He said, get you an iPod. Fill it up with personal development. Listen to it every single day. He also told me that because, and things I learned later on, but you need to get you a recording on your iPad of yourself, your affirmations, and the things that you're wanting, and you say it. Don't just go buy a CD of affirmation and positive development, rah, whatever, but you need to get something for yourself, by yourself, if that makes sense. Create this audio program with your own voice, and you listen to you tell yourself what you believe about yourself and what you're believing for yourself. And you need to have that on repeat even when you're sleeping, because the subconscious mind doesn't go to sleep. Now, this is probably a little bit more deeper of a topic than what I've covered here on the channel, but this is my everyday process and kind of how I got to where I am and how I got started. And so this experience of going through this 30-day mental fast, when I got to the end of 30 days, and believe me, it was tough. Because the first day I came home was that evening, and I'm like, okay, now what? No TV, no radio, no nothing. It's like, so now you're forced to be alone with your own thoughts. You're forced to be alone with your own behavior patterns, whether they be positive or negative, and you begin to learn how you think, how you respond to things. What are your triggers? What are the things that bother you? And what are the things that don't? So now, fast forward, 30 days at the end, and I'm like, well, dag, I don't want to quit. So I want to, keep this going. 30 days turning into 60 days. 6 months later, I had gone without no public radio, radio of any kind, no TV. I had even limited conversations with certain people. Even with my best friend at the time, it's like I need to really focus for the next 90 days and get something done. I can't really talk on the phone like I used to, or like we used to, which was every day. I can't stay up late. So I started getting up, going out, forcing myself to get beyond some of the things. Like I used to have a problem with talking to people in public, or just talking to strangers, more or less, introducing myself and things like that. It was an issue, so I forced myself to go out, start meeting 10 people a day, not wanting anything from them, but just start meeting 10 people a day, shaking their hands, saying hello, introduce myself, having a casual conversation with somebody, and moving on. And so these are the things that I began to come into when I first got started in business. And one of the biggest struggles that I had was when I mentioned it was I had an issue with talking to people, and feeling scared, I literally would shake, like, and just have like this shiver, the quiver in my voice and everything, just from talking to people. So every day I made a point to talk to 10 people every single day. I kept one of those little foldable notebooks, like off Blue's Clues and the handy dandy notebooks. I had one of those, and I would write down like 2, 3, give myself like 3 or 5 points or something like that on things that went well today, and what I did well today, so I could start focusing on the small wins. Another thing I struggled with was just trying to believe in myself that I could become basically in the mind and where I am in life now, which is still not fully exactly where I want to be, but it's always a process. But getting from that version of Diana to this version of Diana. So now thinking, what do I want to become? Who do I want to become? What do I want to do? What do I want to think? How do I want to respond to negative situations? And being able to formulate my thoughts in a progressive and successive way so that I'm thinking the way that I want to, and not just by default from maybe what you've heard from your parents, or maybe what you've heard from the environment that you've been in, or your school, or just even things that you've said or believed about yourself, but really so that positive development becomes who you are, and not something that you're doing. In the beginning, learning personal development and getting involved in that and changing the way you think about yourself and things and situations and money, and all of that it was tough. So what I did was put that to work by doing those small things. So those were some of my biggest struggles. Like, for real, it was a mental game. That was like my first big struggle, believing that, this personal development stuff would take hold, that it was really real, and that it was really going to work for me. And I would quit, and I'd, just like, this is stupid. This isn't real. People don't really do this. It doesn't work, And then it's like, I can't stop. I got to keep on it. And that was the beginning stages of me getting started in business with network marketing, failing and quitting and starting over, failing and quitting and believing in myself and starting over, failing and quitting and believing that I can, until I eventually start to put certain things into place. And so that's just the beginning, because I don't want this video to be too long, but that's just the beginning. And it was nothing physical. It wasn't about going to do anything. The only thing that mattered was getting a calendar and a journal, so I could track my time and I could track my thoughts and the way I'm thinking about things. And so I even have that journal, or those journals, now, and I can go back and look at what I was thinking and what I was working on, so that I could have a track of where my time is, where my thoughts are, and really start to plan out my life instead of living life by default. So that's just a little insight into the beginning. That's where it all started, was in network marketing. And it got to the point to where I think my biggest win, my first big win, was I starting to change my thought process about money, and stop thinking about time for money. I want to get paid this much per hour, to thinking about what's the value I want to create and how much money that should equate to. And so I started to, to get the money to even start investing in my business, stuff like that. Sold my Xbox, sold my games, sold anything that didn't matter, sold PSP, sold just all of that stuff. Any stuff that I had that was worth something that I wasn't using, wasn't going to make me any money, or help contribute towards making me any money, I got rid of it, sold all of that stuff. And so now I got, a baseline plus whatever I can put together from my job. Just a little bit of savings here or there, cut back on fast food completely, which was like right off the bat $250. So now I'm working with about $500 to start with, to be able to make those starting investments, even in network marketing at the beginning, and just learning to invest in myself. So that in itself is a whole nother topic and a whole nother process. So that was the beginning. And that was the toughest thing, was changing my way of thinking, so that it is genuine and it is a piece of my real self when I'm out there putting in the work and the actions. Initially you do have to have that faith, and you may be operating ignorance on fire for a little while, but eventually you fall back into your old self, and you gotta put that personal beliefs those personal beliefs, put your belief system to work, or the one that you want to be your main thing, putting that stuff to work, and really start to become fearless, and become who you truly are. So that was the like I said, that was the beginning. That was the beginning for me. Biggest struggle, it was a mental thing, had nothing to do with anything physical. And it's not even leading up to now just yet. That's not the full story, but I'm gonna cut it here of what led me to today. So some more to cover in between there, but I'm gonna cut it short today. So if you are on this entrepreneurial journey, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm gonna upload this straight from the camera, from the app, straight to YouTube, so it won't be any edits or anything like that. All I'm gonna do is chop off the front and the back and upload it. So let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are. What are some of the struggles that you have in business and so far in your entrepreneurial journey? And we'll come back tomorrow with another vlog, continuing answering this question. So hope you guys enjoy, and as always, my friends, live with passion. I'll see you guys in the next video.